I got it over here. It's saying we're live, so I'm going to say that I'm going to hit done.
Who the
right
third
there.
party?
And hit okay. Alrighty, y'all. Peace and greetings to y'all. Namaste, namaste, namaste. Islam, Islam, Islam. I am Brother Hasan Ghazi Obey here in Morocco at Northwestern Mexico. How are you? Guys, you guys already know here with our magnificent and beloved brother, whom we please, Brother Sean and Lima. We're here for our impromptu improv, right? We're going in on Clock of Destiny. This is part 11, Clock of Destiny book 1, right? We're going in on this is part 11. I'm only gonna do about about 2 pages or so. This next part of us going in, of course, and then we're gonna do something a little impromptu that we wasn't expecting. But shout out to my beloved mother, Mistress Consort, and whom Allah please. She asked me to look at a particular interview last night, and I was like, and so I was debating. I was like, I don't know if I want to go in on this. So I just, I asked. I'm like, babe, you think I should kind of X, Y, and Z with that, you know what I mean, and kind of do something astrologically? She's like, yeah, why not? You know what I mean? Because, you know what I mean? I'm pretty sure you're going to do something different than what most people are doing. I was like, okay, cool. So rap with Brother Sean about it. And we have an impromptu improv, improv, kind of like, we have an impromptu improv. To go in on a little more or whatever. So we trust you guys actually enjoy this, share this with your loved ones, and we're about to have some fun because I'm pretty sure nobody's gone in on it like at all or will like we are. So we're finna have some fun. However, first and foremost, man, we're just gonna cut to the chase. Without further ado, we're not gonna even waste any time. I'm gonna share the screen. But Sean's gonna do an invocation in, guys. Turn to Moor American prayer. What I'd like for y'all to do is see here on page 48, as we stand in due God, and Moor says that Allah is prophet of the Ali. And we're here in the Moorish Holy Temple of Science Administrative Functions. We're showing you pages 48 and 49. Just below Prophet Noble Ali's feet, which he has on a 45-degree angle, is our invocation in turn to Moor American prayer. And this is what Brother Sean is going to lead us in on. We want you guys to extend all 5 appendages on the left hand, just the index and middle on the right. And we're going to actually have this held while we stand on the 45 while we're facing east. East metaphysically denotes within. So that's what we're going to do with this. So let's all repeat after Brother Sean, either aloud or in our hearts.
Islam.
Islam.
Allah, the Father of the universe.
Allah, the Father of the universe.
The Father of love.
Father of love.
Truth.
Truth.
Peace.
Peace.
Freedom.
Freedom.
And justice.
And justice.
Allah is my protector.
Allah is my protector.
My guide.
My guide.
And my salvation.
And my salvation.
By night.
Night.
And by day.
And by day.
Through his holy prophet.
Holy prophet.
Noble Drew Ali.
Noble Drew Ali.
Amen.
Amen. Alrighty, guys, we're going to go into the first letter to be read in every meeting. The following is a letter written by Prophet Noble Drew Ali on the 18th day of January, 1928, Anno Domini. He commanded that it be read before every meeting. Moor Science Temple of America, Home Office, 3603 Indiana Avenue. Noble Drew Ali, founder, Chicago, Illinois, January 18, 1929. We proclaim every meeting. Dear Brother Islam, I'm glad to know that I have few faithful Moors among you all, and I desire for them to know the truth and the divine truth. There's a host of jealousy, quote unquote, about me and the movement now by the same people of our side of the nation that claim it was only a joke and unreal. But now, since they have found out from the government officials and the nations of the earth that this is the only sole foundation that all Asiatics must depend upon for their earthly salvation as an American citizen, they're working every scheme that they can to disqualify me so they themselves may take charge of the situation. I've notified all these things to you long ago in the past. It is through the faithful Moors that contribute to the movement and the uplifting funds. The ones that paid their divine respect to me and the movement will be remembered. That is why I'm calling upon all faithful Moors to increase their faithfulness to me, your prophet, and your divine Moorish movement. I need finance and I need it bad. Never before have I needed finance as badly as I do at present, that I may shove aside the discord that is facing the nation. It all comes through jealousy because of my, quote, fame and nobility, end quote, period. The nations of the world will not recognize the movement without me, the prophet, being the head. It has been proven by my work in which I have performed in the last few months, because I was at the governor's inauguration to represent the Moorish Divine and National Movement, and I will be at the inauguration of President Hoover for the same cause. Noble Drew Ali. And we're going to the Moorish literature. Excerpts from the Moorish Guide newspaper. Page 12, handsomely standing due guard in his Moor, Sharif, Fez, and Abbas, Prophet Noble Drew Ali on page 12. And on page 13, I yield the floor to our beloved brother, whom well pleased, Brother Sean Ali. Now, Islam.
Islam. Divine warning by the Prophet, Noble Drew Ali. Prophet warns all Muslim. Governors ordered to read proclamation at each meeting. I hereby inform all members that they must end all radical agitating speeches while at work, in their homes, or on the streets. We are for peace and not destruction. Stop flashing your cards at Europeans. It causes confusion. Remember, your card is for your salvation. Failure to obey these orders will be of severe consequence. We are love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. And when these principles are violated, justice must then take its course. Any member or group of members who hold malicious feelings toward the temple or the prophet, or violate the divine covenant of the Moorish movement, will receive their reward from Allah for their unjust deeds. Our true Moors will and must obey the law as laid down to them by their prophet. If they lose confidence in their prophet, they should turn in their card and button, cease wearing their turban and fez, and return to the state where I, the prophet, found you. This is a holy and divine movement founded by the prophet, Noble Drew Ali, and if the prophet is not right, the temple is not right. The prophet, therefore, is sending out the divine plea to all Moorish Americans that they do their part in protecting their prophet and the temple. This is an everlasting movement founded by the prophet through the will of Allah to redeem his people from their sinful ways, by order of Prophet Noble Drew Ali.
Islam. Now you know we're here in the Clock of Destiny. The next portion that we're going over is the scientific symbols of the zodiac. And we're going to knock this thing on out like this. And you guys know in normal fashion, Brother Sean will do the reading. I'll do the ad-libbing, get my yeah, serious member type of energy on. As we go along. However, I will also make any clarities, you know what I'm saying? Any help with my bro, because I know there's some transliterated Arabic that's on the way also. However, just to give a brief here with the scientific symbols of the zodiac, we're seeing 90 degrees. We're kind of looking at a master seal here, so to speak, and square an angle, right? Seeing 90 degrees, and each is 5,400 miles each, right? Because of the mathematics that CMB has given before, right? And it's interesting if you divide that by 3, you know how many degrees that is there also, right? So it's about 1,800 a piece, right? 1,800 is what you get. So all 30 degrees is about 1,800 miles. I mean, so that's what I'm looking at there. However, man, he's just giving the science, showing you the plumbing level also, right? Right? It's kind of showing you some things. Well, the perpendicular and the level. Let me see that, right? Because we know there's some beings out there that since they spent some finances to be in some Masonic lodge, they think they're special. So when I talk about masonry for real, I gotta be quiet because I don't want to violate my oath. Poor little Tink. Let me stop. Oh man, you brothers. It's so far, as of recent, I came across one brother that seems to be very open-minded, who is, obviously and openly a quote unquote as they call Prince Hall Mason. However, guys, we are who we are, right? We know we're freeborn Master Masons and Eastern Stars and don't need to be made over again in someone's lodges giving certain dues every month. We get that, right? And especially in these days and times when people just want to, lord over you, right? I think I'm not saying that we can't have order. I'm saying that the way people go about it is not very brotherly, honestly. And I think 7 Hill Star is not only the best, but the best. All right. So with that being said, we're seeing that right there with the 90 degrees, and we're seeing the 120s, right? Seeing the trines there also, 7,200 miles for each 120 degrees, right? Which would then, 90, of course, plus another 30 there, right? So we just add another 1,800 miles onto that. And then we're able to get that 7,200 miles for 120 degrees, right? Showing you the square, showing you the triangle, right? All right. So most people are not used to seeing a square like that, but it's a square nonetheless, right? So he shows you the square, then goes to the level negative, and then the positive line, and then takes you to the triangle, right? C and Day is, his autograph is right there. And I yield the floor to our beloved brother, whom will please, Brother Shanalina. Islam.
Islam, bro. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna do a double stream really quick. Should have already had that ready to go, but
yeah, you ticking and talking.
Find a well lit area. Stuff like that. Bam. Let's put it. Throw some quote unquote clickbait.
While you're doing that, I can also check before I come into TikTok. We're gonna check the chat here to see if anyone has joined us so far. Because I get it. We got like 2 or 3, maybe 4 people who are consistent. You know what I mean? We're coming in. It's because I get it. It's only you can count on one hand with fingers left over on how many people enjoy the truth. You know what I'm saying? Because I get it. And I ain't trying to offend real niggas. But that's not my concern. My concern isn't to impress people in the streets and things of that nature. Because I've said before, you guys know, near the Baltimore Corporation, Moor Science is looked at as jail religion. And even the brothers that I have come across that, was able to, have Prophet Noble Drawley find them when it was with them being in the penitentiary, as of now, people are, as I've met them now that they're out or whatever, they're like, dang, brother, you really got your light on, brother, this, and that. And, they don't take me as an arrogant or pompous asshole, because when you are for truth and stand for truth, truth is truth. Anything else is just you being a bitch about it. And you don't have to be a bitch about it. You really don't. So with that being said, I am very thankful and grateful for those that support us. You know what I mean? Oh, hey, happy Holy Venus degree. Brother Armo with base in the chat. Peace and greetings to you, bro. Brother Derek Blash Bay is here saying happy Holy Venus degree. Everyone, and Mother Janelle Blash also says peace and greetings, right? And then we already know, Mother Sahar, she's gonna, come on in, and usually, Brother Tyro's there also. And we know there's other ones too, like JLB and Open 642 usually, and a few other beings that come in, usually on the all the time, every time. You know what I'm saying? J. Alexander Diggs Bay, and right, the Mother Oracle. I know she, will watch us even if she don't, comment in the chat or whatever. However, those that, we know that you don't comment in the chat, we totally get it. So this next thing I'm about to say, it doesn't, apply to you. However, everyone else, we love it when you interact with us in the chat or whatever, right? Share, and also share it with your loved ones. You know what I mean? Any social media that you can share it to, text it to them also. I'm like, who's texting me? What is 7 Hill Star? There you go. Surprise! This is 7 Hill Star, where we tell the truth. If you're offended by the feds, then you need to go check yourself because you have a psychological issue. Because you shouldn't be, offended by, the greatest headdress on the planet, right? Represents mother, first and foremost, this glorious womb, right? And honoring mother, right? And many other, science pertaining to it, right? Naval umbilical cord, right? Placenta, 360 strands, 3 plus 6 plus 0 is a non-cosmic lunar cycle that takes mother to build us, so to speak, within her womb, where she's the grand architect, So we just stay consistent in telling the truth. And we're going to continue. So I yield the floor to Brother Sean Islam. Let me check this tiki-taki out, bro. I yield.
All right. The foundation of the dollar system of the U.S.A. was handed down by the Moorish nation. That is the basic reason why the U.S. dollar has ranked superior over all other money of the Christian nations of the world today. The picture of the Patagonian blonde woman on the U.S. money automatically made the white woman, quote unquote, the head god, quote unquote, of the Christian world of corruption and crime. Quote unquote, in God we trust. Should be in the invoking we trust, right? On the U.S. money is tangible evidence. And I think this is what carte blanche for French.
Carte blanche.
Carte blanche, which defines in English as full permission. In Marseille, French, which is defined in English as one body, e pluribus unum, opposed to truth, human justice, and moral principles, Christianity. The above cut constitutes the scientific symbol of the 12 signs of the zodiac. They are often referred to as the tools of the master builders, quote unquote, of civilization, which simply implies woman and sons, quote unquote, you and me, Islam, or I am, quote unquote, the ever-present law of moral principle and perfection.
Are we seeing this? It's only going to be so long until people are going to have to just tell the full truth. You know what I mean? Like the topic I did, what was it, last night on TikTok. And bro, I'm in the box. I sent the request. Sent on TikTok, I'm like, why do people call themselves black? It is what it is, man. Why do people call themselves white? You're not these things. You're not black. You're not white. Like, what's the issue? Or whatever. Like, it is what it is. Like, why are you calling yourself these things? I'm pretty sure you can pick me up on your side too. I don't need to have my microphone on. You up?
Yeah, you can leave it off. Yeah.
I can leave my microphone off. All right,
yeah,
cool.
I got my headphone in on my phone, so it should pick up everything coming from the speaker.
Okay, sure. That's good. That's good because that means I can just keep that muted, right? What I'll do is I'll at least turn my camera on, right? And have that done like that. All right, so yeah, bro. So with that being said, right? It's a lot of beauty here. You know what I mean? And it's like all this. I got to be a secret squirrel brotherhood guy that, I got to make sure I uphold my oath because I'm serious about my. You're the furthest thing from a brother, then. Period. You're the furthest thing from a brother. I got to make sure I uphold my oath. So, see, it's like, it's so funny because, like, what? Like, this is how I know when people don't see certain things. This is why it's like, what you think? I'm wearing these badges because it's cute? No, I know my highest title is brother or son. What do you think? Like, my brother has gifted me this because it's cute? This is stuff I just carry in my pocket. In my pocket. Like, are you serious? Just in my pocket. You know what I'm saying? Come on, man. In my pocket. You know what I mean? I just think it's so funny, man. And most of these guys don't even have a nationality card in their pocket. And if they did, they don't really comprehend what it is. And then a brother like me, come within their midst, or brother like Brother Sean come in their midst and they don't recognize these tassels ain't pinned down. Young man, you sure you taking them steps properly? I don't think so. Because you haven't learned how to be a brother yet. Just a brother and a son. You haven't learned those things yet, man. But it's all good, man. We baby steps. Instead of, whatever steps you allegedly took. You taking baby steps right now. Okay, but anyway, with that being said, bro, bro, the inalterable.
Right. The inalterable fact is that all religious superstition and secret order superstition of the entire human family of the world of today is founded upon the above scientific symbols.
Jesus Christ. So you wouldn't even have your secret squirrel brotherhood if it wasn't for what we're sharing with you freely. You better show some respect the next time, I come across your eyes and ears, Masons and Eastern Stars. Now, those of you that's been, been showing respect, you wasn't on some, I gotta make sure I pull my oath. I ain't gonna talk to me, got nothing to, I can't talk to you on the square. Then you're not on anything. You still in the shadow, you still in the shallow grave. And so I wouldn't waste my energy to grip you, boy. Period. I wouldn't waste my energy to grip, pull you out that grave, that shallow grave you in. Because I ain't sit there and take some butt buddy oath. Not a butt buddy. Never will be. Ever. So you keeping up your butt buddy oathing over there, Oh, and the sisterhood, I can't have it. Oh, okay. I love it. Man, people just don't know when they come across a death angel. Y'all guys got to recognize who. I'm not bragging, but you guys got to recognize when Brother Hasan comes across your eyes and ears, the last thing you want to do is think something wrong or do something wrong. The last thing you want to do. Thinking, doing, wishing something wrong. Oh man, when it comes back on you, it's going to be way worse. It's going to be so heavy too, and then you're going to think to yourself like, "Shit, they say I shouldn't." I'm like, yeah, because you don't know who I am in the spirit. You really don't. You think it's a game. You really think it's a game. But anyway, let's continue, bro. This is the type of protection I put around me, my loved ones, my brothers. I'm telling you, man. Woo to the wee.
Peace, Nene Davis. And everybody that's with us on TikTok, hang in there with us. We getting through this to give you this information, and then we going in on Cat Williams. So stick around. Get you this lesson to see why everyone's a Mason, why it's not a secret unless you just don't want to know. And then we get into the astrology of it. All right.
Yeah, but see, I get it, man. We ain't take the butt buddy oath. We're not keeping lying. We ain't go to college and be a part of Greek life society. And then when people like us come across, them, and we got way higher degrees than they'll ever get, unless they transact a certain amount of finances for a few years.
Yeah, I can.
See, this is a lesson in discrimination and real brotherhood. So I don't care what you think you are, Mason or Eastern Star. When you treat anybody with the disdain and disrespect that I have had to endure on many different occasions, it just lets me know, they have no idea. They think they working the craft. They ain't working nothing but things to come back on them so hard. Like, oh, you know how to be a brother and a sister now, huh? Okay. Okay. You gonna think what I'm saying is arrogant, but it ain't. It ain't. It ain't. It ain't. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. All is well, Nene. All is well. Right? Just making sure our brothers and sisters that are part of these orders are really comprehending what we're sharing here. Like, look here, Nene. The inalterable fact is that all religious superstition, right? And another term for religious superstition is dogma belief systems and secret order superstition. Oh, I took an oath. I can't talk to you on the square, brother. Like, shut the fuck up. of the entire human family of the world of today is founded upon the above scientific symbols. But how many people are really knowing this and really working that compass and square for real, really into this craft? They not. But yet they come across brothers like us. Oh, well, we got to categorize you with our language by saying, oh, see, you Moor Science Temple of America. See, y'all, you them over there. You just showed me you're immature and you should be stripped of every bit of regalia that you have on. Because you don't comprehend the lesson. You don't comprehend the science nor the mathematics. I yield.
The universal truth has been crucified by falsehood.
Ooh, Jesus, Grizzly Christ. It just sounds like I'm saying things. It's like I'm pre-ad-libbing today. Go ahead, bro. I yield.
In other words, secret order and religious superstition, Christianity, or isms.
Yeah, like one of the good brothers I know, I was on this live the other day, and he was like, yeah, man, we got to stop this 3-letter, 4-letter, my organization better than your organization. It's like, woo, to the wee. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Woo, he frying them. Frying. Like, yo, that's the, like, you know, and even when I said on this particular line, I was like, all I am is a son or a brother. He was the only one that could agree wholeheartedly. That's why I was like, boy. That's why I love not being a clandestine Negro. I love being a free white person. I love being self. I yield, bro. Islam.
Islam. All right. Symbol number 1, universal, Islam. Symbol number 1 represents the square, an angle of 90 degrees, or the fourth part of a circle. The level and plumb are symbols of the 3 basic principles of our being. They enter into everything of a physical nature and are, namely, spirit or life, mind or emotion, and substance, form or matter. Life, mind, and form symbolizes the Great Triangle.
Man. Jesus, Grizzly Christ. I did say plummet level earlier, didn't I? And I was like, well, the perpendicular and the level. But I know what I'm talking about, period, though. But guess what? I didn't have to take a butt buddy on. I didn't have to cable tow myself. I didn't have to do ridiculous things that show that I dishonor my ancient foremothers and forefathers, but I think I'm somebody. Because now I'm with my flats. You better stop that stupidity. It's going to come a time where you're going to wish that you didn't have it. Because anything else, I'm telling you, those of us that are sharing this information and people are being raised, not just raised out the shallow grave, getting that grip and raised, and boy, they're going to look at y'all and be like, so do you want the scimitar now or do you want the scimitar now? Because they're not going to go for that. They're not going to go for you secret squirrel brotherhood for something that is like, man, this is about civilization on the planet at large, not just about your little pocket group of butt buddies.
Period.
I yield.
There we go. Once again, removing the veil from the mysteries. The number 9 represents the law of fulfillment. Also, universal physical manifestation on the plane of life. 3 into 9 equals 3 times. This division of 9 involves the 3rd and the 33rd degrees.
Whoa, hold on. You're not supposed to be saying that. You're violating the oath.
What oath? Right, when Devo said, what bike? What oath?
What oath, punk? Go ahead, man. Damon, I'm a Moor. Let me stop you. Go ahead, man. Go ahead,
this
man.
division of 9 involves the 3rd and the 33rd degrees, all of which boils down to the 3, or 3 degrees of life, mind, and form.
Here, and by the way, I said Damon, so shout out to brother Damien Jack on TikTok. That's the one brother that I met that's traveling. I met him via online. That's the one that didn't come off all like, I can't talk to you. It's like, what? Like, good for that brother, man. That's a good brother. That's right. But when I said Damon, I'm a Moor, I wasn't referring to brother Damien Jack. Brother Damien Jack, it just seems like he is open-minded and is operating at least on the principle of love, which is the first principle. And truth, peace, freedom, and justice are inherent after that. I yield.
All right, here we go. Here is how the 33rd degrees are built. 3 times 3. We omit the time sign, which results in 33. All there is, 3 times 3 equals 9. This process has cleared up the mystery of the Christian 33rd degrees.
Ooh, you just wasted. How much finance did you waste to go and be that clandestine brother in some brotherhood talking about I can't violate my oath? Here you go. I can't speak freely. Who you letting violate your birthright for some secret squirrel oath? And people violate your birthright. You fool. Hey, yo, bro, Islam.
All right, symbols number 2 and 3, universal, Islam. Symbol number 2 represents the level or negative. Symbol number 3 represents the line or positive. As we are negative when sleeping on the level and are positive when awake and standing erect. It is important we understand these principles of our being and what our thoughts are doing for us when we go from the level to the perpendicular or the negative to the positive. They have made us what we are now, manifesting in the age of universal truth, the atomic age.
Explosives. Okay, go ahead, bro.
What's
the difference between me and you? Okay, anyway, go ahead, bro.
Symbol number 4, universal, Islam. Symbol number 4 represents the Great Triangle, the supreme height of our universal mind and wisdom, perfection and moral principles, often referred to in our religion of Islam mystery as quote unquote Mecca.
Whoa. Hey, yo. Bro, man, how many people you think out there took them oaths of deaths and wanted to be? I'm a Prince Hall. You mean apprentice hall, as established by Emmanuel Bimbe Muali, colloquially called Bimbe, in reconstructed U.S.A. history called Benjamin Banneker. That's what you mean when you say Prince Hall? You mean apprentice hall, and the Universal Apprentice Hall is Casablanca, which some people call the White House, which is ours. But we too busy playing secret squirrel brother and sisterhood games. Is Brother Hasan mad at some Masons and this? No, I'm not mad. I'm just pointing out the fact that people waste their time on foolishness. And we can be so much further.
My favorite question to ask is, where'd you learn this?
We can be so much further in life. So much further. I yield, bro.
All right, Mecca, and in the European or white people, quote unquote, religion of Christian mystery as, quote, Vulcan, Calvary, Mount Golgotha, the place of the skull or pyramid.
Yeah, that's where in the anthropomorphic tale of David and Goliath, that's where David buried Goliath's skull after penetrating his pineal gland with the second smooth stone out of the 5 smooth stones he got from the brook. And then he took Goliath's own sword, right, which is the word words, right, and decapitated him, and then dragged his skull to what they call Calvary. However, guys, remember, refer to your Metaphysical Bible Dictionary by Charles Fillmore, and you'll be able to get the richness out of that. So you'll see how this is tied, how this is really referring to your consciousness tied to your endocrine system, so that you can grow for real, progress, and be edified. And I yield.
It makes me think too when I had said that and you was speaking on that. It made me think of that Indiana Jones movie, like what was it, like the Temple of the Pyramid or something with the skull. All right, so the preceding triangular symbol is on the reverse side of a United States $1 bill of 1928.
Lucky Astro Cookie. I yield, man.
The following is the Arabic language of the kinky-haired Moorish woman who founded the Order of Islam upon mathematics, the square and angle, the level and the plumb, and the great triangle 1,367 years ago.
And so now that makes me think, like, so you sisters that's, you know, you are an Eastern Star sister, how come are these brothers telling you that you are the Moorish woman who founded the order that's being mimicked by these brothers? You probably ain't getting that. Why? Because they too busy utilizing the scimitar over your neck as if we're subjugating you, instead of giving you the sword over your head as if you're using your thoughts and words so sharp like a scimitar that whatever you think, it'll cut through whatever. Yeah, there's two ways of looking at everything, right? It's called polarity. It's not just a negative to the scimitar over women. What was the scimitar over the woman here, which is the subjugation of the Moabite woman. That's one. But there's a positive to that too. I mean, you make her mind sharp enough. Woo, to the wait. You ain't cutting nothing from her. You ain't cutting her head, nothing. She gonna use her thoughts, because that sword is also at her crown chakra. But I hold on, I'm giving up secret oath stuff. Get the fuck out of here, man. I yield, bro. Jal Haku wa. Sorry. Jahaku wu Zahakal.
Jal Haku wa Sahakwa.
Yeah.
All right. Translation: the truth has. The truth has come.
Yeah, you're welcome. I'm here. Okay, go ahead. I yield.
I now hawk. Translation: I am the truth.
Well. Hey, yo, I keep laughing because my pen name is Living Truth, right? This is how we all should be speaking. I'm doing nothing in the anthropomorphic John. Every time he referred to himself, he said, "A disciple whom Jesus loved." When you really do the metaphysics, man, I ain't going front. You can see him like, "Oh, that brother's arrogant." That's how I know you are retarded in the spirit when you say something like that. Special needs in the spirit. I yield, bro.
All right. Any ana alu la ilaha illa ana. Translation: truly, I am God, quote unquote. Besides me, there is no other. Yes, the kinky-haired Asiatic woman is the God of humanity.
I want to be getting that in them secret squirrel order meetings. Go ahead, I yield.
Oh, this will get them mad too in they little TikTok debates, wanting to talk down on Moorish women, when what they falsely call black women, saying they don't do this and they do that. It's because woman doesn't know thyself.
Right? And then you got, and hold on, and because most of them don't know themselves, then they be like, "We this and fuck them then," and then it's like, woo-wee, because now that's two perspectives, but both of them are in lower self. You got the brothers talking about these women ain't shit, and then you got the ones that they recognize that they might got an inkling of some greatness in them, but then they're going to tear down their sons. So you got sons tearing down the mothers, and the mothers tearing down the sons, and it's like, this is why Big Ben Bay, gave the word God to the priesthood to socially and economically spank people for the last couple hundred years, because it's a lesson you got to learn. You got to learn the hard way. So it's like, what are you doing? Oh, I know what you're doing. You're not learning your lesson. I yield, bro.
All right. The following is the great phrase on the dollar of the Moorish woman, falsely called black woman, prior to the rise of the Order of Rome. Allah tall cult. Translation, and God have I trusted, namely self with moral principle.
Jesus, Bruce Lee Christ.
Like, are y'all really hearing this? That's why I just wanted us just to read that much, because I'm like, bruh, I mean, some people might sit there and spontaneously combust, bro. Like that Albion son on the Clayton Bigsby sketch with on Dave Chappelle's show first joint, yo. You want to see my face? Head gonna explode. Like,
right. And that one part where he pulled up on him, he's like, "Woogie boogie," you know. There, he's like, he told him here. And it's
Hey,
like,
Jungle Bunny. Jungle Bunny's turn that music down.
Boogie woogie, nigger. Boogie woogie. Like, yo, did he just call us niggers? Awesome. Like, yo. All right. So when we come back next Friday for our next Intuition Monday, Impromptu Improv. Forgive me. Impromptu Improv 12. 0 represents the circle of 360 degrees. 0 is the symbol of the earth. Quote, out of darkness comes light. End quote. And so we're going to go in on that. 41 is at the bottom. 42 is at the bottom. Ooh, wait, little numerology going right there. At the bottom. Where's my money, Brian? Where's my money? Right? All right. And so we'll stop. Let's see. Was that 3 pages? Because I'm making sure these things are holding. So yeah, we'll go from that to that. And we'll stop at where it says Lazarus in the Christian Bible, right? That'll be the last thing we'll read next Friday, right? Right, that's what it is. And then the Friday after that, we'll start at the diseases such as leprosy, TB, and syphilis was unknown prior to the creation of the blonde people. Like, look how this is not being mean. Do you guys love a lie, or do you want to embrace this truth? Like, you know, at any time you could just unsubscribe, or I don't like 7 Hill Star. They just tell the truth too much. So are you going to sit there and try to punt it off and that's your beliefs and that's mean and that's it? Is it? It really is it? Because remember, we're supposed to be solving our social and economic issues right now, and we can't do it. Keep lying to ourselves. We're trying to hold this in secrets. Oh, we got a secret squirrel hood. Oh, shut the fuck up. Secret squirrel. All right. So let's go in, right? So we're gonna obviously do some things later. But let's bring this up, right? So again, shout out to my beloved mother, Mistress Consort, for bringing an interview up to me last night. She's like, have you seen it? And I ain't gonna front. I kind of, not only did I watch the interview, I actually watched the numbers on a few things. I don't think Shannon Sharp has the most manly name for his podcast, Club Shay Shay. Hey, that's kind of how it sounds to me. I don't care how, it's Club Shay Shay. Shut up. It sounds gay. Let's just keep it a band. It really does. Sounds like Club Gay. That's what it sounds like. I was like, man, I hope he's got a daughter or something. Like, is she like Shay? I get it. But Shannon and Sharp both start with S-H-A. It's no disrespect to Shannon Sharp. It's just saying, bro, that's a gay podcast name. Just saying, right? Club Shay Shay. That's how, I don't care how you say it. I'm going to always hear it like Club Shay Shay. That's how it sounds to me.
Okay, Shay.
You gotta smack your teeth. Club Shay Shay. You gotta say it like that. I'm sorry. It was my first time ever even hearing of Club Shay Shay. Honestly, it was the first time. And I was like, I looked at my consort like, what is that? Is he serious? Like, there's no way.
Right. You got to do it in the voice of the Wayans brothers when they humiliated themselves and dressed up as women. Hate it.
Yo, like what? Bruh, that gay shit is a no-no. 360 degrees, 720 degrees, 1440 degrees. That shit is a no. All times. Right? So we're looking at Williams' chart here. And you know what I thought? I thought some things was really interesting about Cat Williams' chart here. I gotta be very honest. Because what made me even bring it up as I'm watching it, right? As I'm even watching it, right? I was looking at Cat Williams' body language, and I'm like, why does he keep stepping on his feet like that? Because I'm like, that's a Cancer quality. So I'm like, but it's Piscean too. So I was like, he must have the moon in Pisces, or maybe he is a Pisces. So my consort, she looks up his natal chart, and she tells me, she's like, yeah, September 2nd, 1971, 5:28 a.m. I was like, oh, okay. When she told me the time, this is before I even looked at the chart myself. I'm like, sounds like he's a Leo ascendant. I was spot on because I know my shit. I'm an internationally certified professional astrologer. So you guys should always, be making donations and scheduling sessions with us. And don't be so mad about how I say what I say. It doesn't matter. You need to be booking me and Brother Sean for real. What we do here on YouTube and TikTok, it's fun. It's, and I like sarcasm. You know what I mean? And my improv is super spot on. All right. So it is what it is. However, at the end of the day, right? When I was looking at this, I was like, that makes sense. He has the 12th house on Cancer. 12th house deals with, naturally with Pisces, Jupiter, anciently Neptune in the contemporary, which deals with feet. You're talking medical astrology or Ayurveda, right? When you're talking that, and then I was like, oh, okay. I was like, something with the feet is very Cancer-like, and that's what even made me think to even look at Cat Williams' chart. All right. And as me and Brother Sean was just looking at it, and I was like, yeah, bro, he's a Virgo sun, Leo ascendant, Aquarius moon, right? And we were just pointing out a few things. And I was just like, yeah, it's real interesting to see that he's got Mercury in Leo. Me and Brother Sean got Mercury in Leo. So it's like, I totally get why he said what he said. But it made sense to me. This is the one thing I'm going to point out first, and I'll let Brother Sean go in on something too. I was like, he's got Saturn at the Virgo degree in Gemini in the 10th house. I get now why he's allegedly blackballed in his career. It made sense to me, right? Saturn in the 10th, which deals with career, is ruling over his everyday work, 6th house. Which for me, because, and I'll just make this point before we go in, when I'm going to go check his Fedaria, I was like, man, I wanted to know what Fedaria he's on right now. And he's on a Venus Moon Fedaria right now. He won't go into a Venus Saturn Fedaria until the 5th February 2024. And so I looked for, Venus and Moon, and I'm like, oh, okay, so Venus is clearly in his Placidus 1st house, right? And Moon is in his Placidus 6th house, which speaks about his entrepreneurial endeavors, right? Self-investment, so to speak, because the reason why I'm calling it self-investment because for his everyday, entrepreneurial endeavors, so self-entrepreneurial endeavors for just 1st and 6th. And finances, right? Venus, finances. And even though Venus is exile, it's out of place. It feels much better. Pardon me. It's in its fall. Venus is in its fall. So it doesn't get much help. You know what I mean? It has to really do it on its own. So it really lets me know, self-financing and Virgo deals with work too, just like the 6th house. So I'm like, okay. You know what I mean? Self-financing his entrepreneurial endeavors. Whole sign, though, this is his 2nd whole sign house, Virgo. And Aquarius is his 7th whole sign house. And so I was talking about also financing partnerships also. And it's interesting because in that interview that came up. And I was like, man, and I even told Brother Sean and I told our beloved brother, Corey Bay, the Exalted Cyclops. I was like, he was being his chart last night. So go ahead, Brother Sean. You want to go in on anything?
Indeed, yeah. And I'll just kind of, to speak on what we were just saying earlier, he's got his Virgo sun, right? And he's got the moon in Aquarius. So, Virgo deals with organizing, details, and service. And his moon is an Aquarian. So it's really going to be well thought and planned out. And with his sun and Mercury being in mutual reception by ruler, it's like his ego and personality and communications are in harmony. So he's going to come with the receipts. And at some point, he's going to snap if he's, pushed to a certain limit. And what I also seen was a lot of comedians come forward and, not comedians, actors, it's talking about how, Cat Williams looked out for him, right? His second house cusp is at an Aquarian degree, ruled, on Virgo, right? And his sun and his Mercury are in mutual reception. So we're looking at the first house, we're looking at the second house, and we're looking at the 11th house where Gemini is. So, and it's also at a Cancer degree. So he's feels very at home and he loves to give and look out. And his brother Hasan was talking about his 7th house cusp being on Aquarius. He's going to look out for people as just him being humanitarian, him communicating and giving what he can give to look out for. And that, kind of, I don't even want to call it a stellium, but the moon and Mars in Aquarius, man, you snoring. It's all about just giving back and thinking about things for the future. Right. And his South Node is, in that conjunction, not super strong with his ascendant. So he is learning how to really shine his own light and really be the change he wants to be, right? North Node in Aquarius at 14 degrees. So it's a Taurian degree. So it's best to give, whether it's finance, whether it's advice, and he naturally probably feels what he needs to do for whoever he comes across, right? Jupiter in Scorpio in the 4th, at another Cancer degree, making a sextile with Pluto. So his philosophy is really a transformation, not only for himself, but for all those he come across. So yeah, they might take shit to the chin, but it's really kind of being like a death and rebirth for you, right? It's like you might not have seen something he said, but you'll see it later. It might kind of hit you in the chest, but it was what you needed and you'll see it later, if you want to see it. Some folks might want to ignore the truth, with that energy. And anything else I want to say? Kind of just makes me wants to look at his life.
I'd be able to launch you off because I remember a few things we was talking about. Because because I got other stuff here. I got the Fedaria Perfections, the Zodiacal Releasing, and the Solar Return chart, Secondary Progress, Solar Arc chart. So we can go in on that too. Just when you was pointing out the second house cusp, which is, if we just briefly financing, right? 11 degrees, Virgo, financing the group for everyday stuff. That's touring, right? That's financing the touring, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that be his truth, right? Well, it's like that does make sense. Then we also pointed out the fact that he does have a natal retrograde Mercury, and we know Mercury just went station direct on the 1st, but is still within its retrograde zone. Mercury does not exit its retrograde zone until the 20th January 2024 at 15:20:57 Eastern, or which is 3:20:57 post meridian Eastern, right, on the 20th January 2024. So I'm thinking like, okay, Mercury is trying and it's on its way, because let's say this dropped on the 3rd, right? That interview dropped on the 3rd of January. And it's like, we already saw, you had pointed out, what did you point out again about his Zodiacal Releasing?
That he's 4? On a level 4 for Spirit and Sagittarius.
Right there. So I was like, man, they dropped that on a level 4 peak period for Cat. Like, it's so aligned that it was no failing for Cat. And then I told you I had seen one of the reaction videos with Luenell. Luenell was with her family near the Hawaii State Republic. But they was doing this, oh, Cat had an interview? I didn't even know. Really? You already know Luenell is just playing, right? but her not really speaking on it or whatever, right? But she says, I love being near the water because it's so healing because I'm a Pisces. And I was like, no wonder her and Cat Williams get along. He's the Virgo, she's the Pisces, right? And that just made me think, I'm like, they might be just as, you know, either them two or a few of them really into astrology, because for Cat Williams to do what he did on the 3rd and have a level 4 peak period for part of spirit, which pertains to his career, we're just going to keep it short and say that's one portion we can look at it like for his career, his standing, his status. Level 4 peak period, man. It's like, wow. So I was like, yeah, man, there was no failings for that, right? Then what did you say about his secondary progress chart?
Let's see. He had a Libra ascendant, I think, with a Pluto. Yep. Conjunct that in the 12th house. Right, and that Sun, right, with a Scorpio stellium now with Sun, Mercury, and Venus in there. So it's like, fuck around and find out, right?
Second house, and then
that Moon in Capricorn, so it's making a conjunction with that Sun.
Yeah, his ascendant Sun and Moon all ingressing. I just thought that's just showing like a new start, new beginning kind of energy. I was like, sheesh, that is bananas in pajamas. That's just where I was like, goodness, Jesus, firstly Christ. Like, I'm like, yo, that is bananas, bro. So I was looking at that and I was like, bro, look, yeah, that Mercury is at 11 degrees Scorpio. So definitely speaking Mercury on the internet, right, about things behind the scenes and knowing the value of it or expressing the value about knowing things behind the scenes. And in that interview, he said, sometimes I just pay for information. I know things I shouldn't know. But people find out things about me, and then obviously what he's alluding to, compensating people for getting him information. And I was just like, wow, that is really right there. And then, we was also looking at his Saturn. His secondary progressed Saturn is retrograde at 5 degrees, but his natal Saturn is at 6 degrees. And, 6 degrees is dealing with, for him to have he got a Saturn at brilliant intellectuality, right? That's 6 degrees Gemini, right? So brilliant intellectuality as well as expression in language. And in that interview, they did speak on how, by him leaving home early, about 12, 13 years old, linked up with a truck driver, was able to make his way near the Miami Corporation, Florida State Republic. He put himself through going to the library for 8 hours, and then he would, steal car radios, make $2,000 a day, right? And so I was thinking to myself, I'm like, that makes sense. You know what I mean? With the whole library thing, with the brilliant intellectuality or whatever. And then this is what's interesting. Let me tell you why this is interesting. He said he stole radios. Radios is broadcasting. The sign for broadcasting is Aquarius. Right? It's at 18 degrees, which is Virgo degrees, like everyday work, right? I know 7th house deals with partnerships, the spouse or whatever, things of that nature, right? What's interesting, right? Because usually people with like Aquarius on the ascendant, like multiple, consorts. And he did mention how he prefers the company of women. They have more women around him, of course, than men. And was there, since this is in his 10th house, this Saturn, like, what was it about career, right? And things like that. And he did mention at one point in time, he had a couple ladies of the night where, he had under him or whatever, as far as him, doing pimp stuff or whatever, so to speak. And I was like, that's Saturn in Gemini, because Gemini could be, that's what? Neighborhood, travel, right? Short distance travel, street walking, right? Someone being a boss, pertaining to street walking, right? Venus is the 10th house ruler. It's interesting because Venus is trying the cusp that it rules and sextile the 4th house. cusp. And so I thought that was rather interesting, even though Venus is, not doing so well. So it just shows that there was a lot of things that could be seen from the interview, and then look at the chart and it's like, wow, that actually makes a whole lot of sense, because I'm just thinking that that interview would show that this guy is really being his chart. What's interesting, though, is how much he was actually being his chart, especially when it came to 5 degrees. This Saturn in the 9th house, which we know 5 degrees, right? Degree of quiet fortunes. And so at one point in time in the interview, he was like, they said what his net worth was. He was like, I got that on me now, right? That's it. That's all it is. So it alluding to he's got more or whatever. But the thing is, this being in the 9th house is interesting because he talked about traveling a lot to be able to, work or do some things. He said he was doing door-to-door sales or whatever. He claimed he went across all 50 states. And while I was listening to that, I was like, you went to Alaska? You know what I mean? To sell some things door-to-door, but I let it go. Right? I let it go. Right? However, I just, wanted to point that out and look at that. I was like, that's interesting, and just to see what it is. Interesting because his Venus was in Virgo natally, but now it's out of place. Right now, progressed in Scorpio, just outside of Weird Combuster, though. Just outside of the burning way, man. And that's very interesting. Very interesting. That's just outside of the burning way, right? However, Venus out of place. However, in the 2nd house is, and then me speaking about how they was talking about his net worth, and it's like they didn't really have a clue about it. For that to get spoken about, I was just like, man, like there's just some really spot on things. Let me show you something though about his secondary progressed Mars at 23 degrees Aquarius, and it's like, okay, well, in the 5th house, it's really showing like there's just some, boldness in broadcasting and creativity that's happening. So I saw that actually taking place. However, what I realized though, and I pointed out to you, Brother Sean, which made this very interesting about where his secondary progressed Mars is right now. Let's go to his solar return that took place. I know he manifested on the 2nd September, but his solar return in 2023 took place on the 1st. Brother Sean, remember, we see his secondary progressed Mars at 23 degrees Aquarius, 41 minutes. We know that Aquarius natally is his 7th house. So he's got Mars transit in his 7th house, right? Even though
Mars going to be conjunct his solar return ascendant.
Exactly.
Wow, I ain't even look. You didn't even tell me that.
That's exactly what I was like, yo, bro, wait till we see that solar return. So it's like, all right, boom. This is just making all the sense in the world when, like, because I'm telling you, if it wasn't, again, shout out to my beloved mother, mistress, consort, and whom I'm well pleased, because if she didn't ask me if I didn't, it's like, did you see that thing about Cat Williams? I'm like, nah. When I tell you I was under a rock, I was not paying attention to nothing like that, and it came across her timeline, and she saw a couple of people speaking on it. I was like, I don't know, so I just put it on the big screen, and I was just like, this joint 2 hours 46 minutes and 5 seconds. Okay, this yo must have went in, man. From the time it started to the time it ended, I was like, oh my god, it's like. And what's good that I liked about it too, it sounded so resonant of just some principled things that I'm even about. When he was like, I'm still a virgin in my asshole and I didn't suck a dick. I was like, bruh, that's my guy. You know what I mean? I might not agree with, the hairstyles. However, that's my guy. That's what I'm talking about, man. Because I'm telling you, you know what I mean? I could have been signed many different deals when it comes to music. And I'm telling you, that's why I got my own equipment. I did things real early out of high school. I'm like, nah, man, fuck them deals. I see what people gotta go through. I ain't for that faggy shit. Man, y'all gonna be talking about the up and coming R&B singer is in jail for murder. Like, yeah. I already know. I already what? Yo, you could have just left the office. Nah, this nigga got to die tonight. Like that would have been my mindset back then. I'm a much different brother now. You know what I'm saying? Like I can walk away now and just let the universe let that pendulum swing, and I just move out the way of the pendulum and let them get decapitated or split in half. You know, pause. But that is what it is. So, with that being said, I thought that was interesting to see that Mars there, you know what I mean, at 23 degrees. And it says 41, it says 14 minutes for the ascendant for a solar return, which means seventh house things are going to be on the rise. Partnerships, relationships. Shannon Sharp did ask him about, you know, being married and things of that nature that really popped up. You know, the seventh harmonic deals with, you know, what kind of children you're going to have is interesting. He said he adopted 7 children. I just thought that was interesting. Going back to the secondary progression chart, though, you know, 2314 is what the ascendant says. This is 2341. You know me, man. I kind of pay attention to the numbers keys just a little bit. And I'm just like, man, that is very interesting how his solar return and secondary progressed Mars are like literally the same degree. So it was no doubt that we were going to this was bound to happen. And it's just amazing. And I usually don't go into astrology this way, but I was like, man, I think this is some evidence-based stuff here if we go and analyze a few things. And we're really just scratching the surface a little bit, just looking at a few things. And we're going to go, you know, past this, beyond this, you know what I mean? Just scratching the surface on a few things or whatever. But Brother Sean had pointed out something too in this solar arc direction, which is so much more we can go in, but we about to wrap up soon. But what did you say about this solar arc direction chart, though, bro?
Yeah, when you were speaking about his feet, I was like, yo, you know, I checked this solar arc and yo, his moon's in Pisces.
Because because I was like, yo, why he keeps stepping on his foot and like got his side of his shoe on the floor and then his other foot stepping on that foot. And I was like, yo, that's very Cancerian. I know that's a Cancerian thing. So I was like, either he's a Pisces or got the moon in Pisces. When I looked at the chart, his natal chart, I was like, all right, I'm wrong. But what's funny is when we look at the solar arc direction chart, I was absolutely spot the fuck on. That's because that's something else that I do. Sometimes I read people's body language and I can tell that they got something astrologically going on there. Where it just showed me is like, I gotta look at other charts. I can't just look at the natal. I could probably look to the secondary or solar arc for real. You know what I'm saying? Maybe I can look to the solar return too. It's possible. But we're not going to go in too much or whatever, because we know a lot of people like to try to mimic the best. And Seven Hill Star is really the best astrologers on the entire planet, right? Because we're in harmony with nature. We're actual, you know, men, upright and fearless. We don't tolerate anything out of harmony with nature, like that gay stuff, that trans stuff, like none of that. Right? Give them the Stewie fingers. So we're not calling ourselves Negro, Black, Colored, African American, Indian. We're not calling ourselves fictions. So the fact that we're honoring our ancient foremothers and forefathers in thought, deed, and action, it allows us to actually be the best astrologers on the planet. Schedule your Mirror AstroLiteracy session with brother Hasan Ghazi Obey. Make sure you DM or inbox Brother Sean for the Mental Magician Report. You need both of them, right? You don't need that Gucci belt. You don't need that Stanley Cup thermos thing. You don't, that cups, really? Cups. You guys are stop it. Just stop it. All right. So with that being said, maybe the only other thing we didn't look at was the fact that Cat Williams is having a 5th house perfection, right? If we look at the perfections or whatever, and I know on the 7th January, the ascendant, you know what I mean? Because we know when we're looking at perfection, we're looking at where the ascendant is within the chart. It was like as if we're, you know, perfecting the ascendant through the chart and through the houses. So we're gonna go to 2020 Fizzor, and we see when he had a solar return, right? And really the day after, because we saw his solar return was on the 1st September 2023. You guys need a reminder. Let me point it out to you real quick. His solar return, even though he manifested on the 2nd, it happened on the 1st, right? At 1922-43, on the 1st September 2023. And so when we go back and look at his perfections chart, right? And we'll see that this isn't this is just getting started, because on the 7th is when something is really going to pop. So he's probably doing more pardon me. Bring it on down, bring it on down. Bring it back up, actually. Right? Boom. So he has a 5th house perfection because he's 52, right? Count from 48 being 1st house, 49 2nd house, 53rd, 51 4th house, 52. It's the 5th house perfection, so he's 52. And when this ascendant is trying his trying his Mercury, that's going to be very, very interesting. So I got a feeling that there's going to be probably some travel for Cat Williams on that day on the 7th. You probably will see a lot happen, because and then it made me think. I asked the bros, I was like, what is this distracting us from, though? When things happen like this. And Exalted Cyclops, shout out to Brother Corey Bay again, the Exalted Cyclops. Like, yo, I just think it was one of those random strikes, bro, just happened to go viral randomly. You know what I mean? I was like, I was thinking that too. However, it's convenient to be able to take the attention off of something else. It was one of those unplanned viral moments. It's like, oh, this naturally happened. And it's like, yeah, the astrology shows, though, that it could have looked, planned. And then when I asked Brother Corey, he was like, well, it's probably keeping the mind off of the Sean and Sean situation, the Sean Combs and Sean Carter situation, and whatever, homosexual, out of order, out of harmony with nature, gay fuck shit they've done. And I was like, wow, that's tough. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like this whole, I really don't think this Cat Williams thing is gonna, it'll probably maybe by the 8th of January, but I'm telling you, for the next 3 days, this is going to be what people are going to be talking about. Like, and it's not because it's super important and things like that, because I'm telling you, I asked my consort, I was like, I could have did something last night, but I thought it was corny to go in on it. I was like, you think I should really go into this? And not only did my consort was like, yeah, and then Brother Corey was like, man, that's what a lot of these people only comprehend because they're not intelligent enough to make something else important. So I was like, all right, let's do what we do with astrology based on this thing with Cat Williams or whatever, since that's the wave of where the people's attention is, even though for me, it's like, man, come on, y'all got to get to a point where y'all really concerned about the first half of this impromptu improv more than this second half. And the second half, what's important is the astrology and how we're analyzing it, but not the rigmarole of the kind of like gossip column, type tabloid, but even though tabloid is not so-called true or whatever, but a lot of people have turned that interview into tabloid, because what I was seeing even in the moment, as I'm watching it on TV, I'm checking my other devices, and I'm like, yo, people are already making so much B-roll out of this stuff. And it's like, wow. And Brother Corey was like, that's the currency. A lot of people get into, B-roll and this type stuff. And I'm just like, man, it's like, that's how I know I just got some things. And that's where I was like, I agree with Cat Williams, because there's some OG stuff that he had said. And I was like, man, you can tell we kind of had some either similar experience or been around similar people, because there's a couple things I noticed about Cat Williams too. Let me say this. I noticed at one point in the interview, this might be something small, but besides noticing his body language and him talking about, you know, the truth and what he didn't do to compromise his manhood to get where he is, and that's why he hasn't gone further. But I noticed that when he went to go pour his drink, he went and poured Shannon some more too. And I was like, see, yo, I ain't gonna front, yo, like that right there. That's some OG shit right there, because I'm from the hood. You know what I'm saying? So I recognize that. And then when he said something about, you know, putting people on, you know what I'm saying? Like, how are you taking what you do in your craft and taking other people within your realm and doing your best to put them on, you know what I'm saying? And or you putting them on. Now that's what I'm saying. Like, Brother Sean, what contract did I have you sign with me, bro?
Bro, what contract?
Like, if you wanted to, you can go and start your own thing. And matter of fact, you have 720 Astro Healing, right?
Correct.
How much do I ask for from anything you generate from 720 Astro Healing, or any readings or any mental magician reports? How much do I ask for? What's the percentage I ask for?
I think that's a big goose egg, right? A big zero.
Okay, that's why I said, man. When Cat Williams was saying stuff like that, I said, hold on, man. It's some things right there that I just realized. I'm like, yeah, man, I just think there's some other things, you know what I'm saying, that I'm really seeing. Like, I can see it, like, that's some real stuff right there. You don't even have, it's people not even in the Moorish movement that have that kind of integrity at all. All right. So, Brother Sean, is there anything else you want me to go to?
Nah, I think we good. I think we gave a quick little, you know, scope of it. You know we can go a whole lot more deeper and all that, but I think that was good, you know, just to show a few things. The natal, the secondary progress, the solar arc, the Fedaria, the solar return chart. I think that was good. All right. Fifth house perfection. His seventh house is on the rise, so it's children, relationships, contracts. I won't be surprised if he doesn't ink a deal, he might actually orally do something.
He did mention that in May something's dropping on Netflix. I will say that, but go ahead, continue, bro. Say what you were saying, though.
Right.
Because I do want to, you know what, I want you to go in on while I run it. Excuse myself for a bit. 124 is his moon in Aquarius, right? I want to analyze at least the lunar returns up to now. If not, at least the lunar return he's recently
currently
in, right? And that was one. What did I say his moon was at? What again?
124.
Is that what I said?
Yeah, 124 Aquarius.
I want to double check. 124, right? And since this is a solar return, we're going to look at this moon, right? In Aquarius, right? And we want to look at 1 degree, 24 minutes, right? And we will say that, you know, his previous lunar return obviously took place on the 28th of August, right? That's where Luna's there, right? And that would have put his fourth house on the rise, right? So which house is on the rise getting closer? 24th September put his 10th house on the rise. We're talking about just whole sign here. 10th whole sign is on the rise.
I wouldn't be surprised if it's 11th house, to be honest. I wouldn't even be surprised.
That would be muy interesante. Second house is on the rise for his third lunar return. Fifth house is on the rise for his fourth lunar return. 10th again. for his 5th lunar return. So it was that. He's in the middle of his 5th lunar return after his solar return. So, bro, you can go in on that a bit.
So that was what, his 3rd house?
Yeah, man. No wonder. No, 10th. 10th house is on the rise, bro. And what's funny is that would put that Saturn in the 1st of that little return chart. His natal Saturn and the secondary progress Saturn, technically.
All right, so this is the current one, the lunar return. All right, that he's actually currently going through. Right, so his midheaven is on the ascendant. And interestingly enough, it is at a Sagittarius degree. And as I said earlier, his part of spirit is currently, it's not no more. It was in Sagittarius from January 3rd to the 5th till about 1328, right? So now he'll be shifting into a Capricorn. So his ascendant, his 10th house, was at a Sagittarius degree, with Venus in this chart being in the 6th house. So yeah, it's not surprising at all that now, with his public standing and his career and thing the long term, that he had to really shine the light on his value and also shine the light on some other things that was foreign to a lot of people, right? A lot of people might not have known a lot of things that he was speaking about, but he was now affirming his standing and what he has done in his career, right? And what's that, 21? His ascendant, so water travel. But it's just, to me, like, he's really been contemplating on this for a while. With that interview, like, I wasn't surprised that he didn't go to Drink Champs, what most people usually sometimes go to, and to go to with Shannon Sharp and Venus in that 6th house.
And Shannon Sharp's club, Shay Shay, is probably a little more classier than Drink Champs, just a little.
Yeah, I think that was actually a better fit, because I got a feeling he might have been asked to do Drink Champs, and he was like, nah, that ain't the right fit. And that doing with Shannon Sharp was actually a really good fit. And with Venus ruling over that ascendant for this lunar return, and Luna's in the 9th, right? So in the higher learning, and it's at an Aryan degree. So yeah, he's letting that AK rip, and I'm really gonna be interested to actually watch it, because I haven't watched it yet.
Yeah, that's another thing. I know I've seen it, and Brother Sean has it. Yes, I was like, oh, this is gonna be sweet, because I've seen it and you haven't. So that means after we do this and you go to see it, and I go and, you know what I mean, make a couple of edits or whatever, well, really just one edit. We're gonna probably put just a brief short together. And I was like, man, like, bruh, like, you're gonna be like, oh, like, yeah, man, it's gonna change everything. But his Venus, we'll go over that water travel ascendant, right? His Venus is at 13 degrees Scorpio, which is, and it's funny, remember we said it's more planets in the air. Bruh, I can't make this up, man. And then he's got part of necessity conjunct that Venus, man, for that lunar return chart. Look. So it's in the degrees of business, right? Air pressure in the 6th house, man, pertaining to the everyday work, right? So Venus is also ruling the 6th and the 1st house. Yo, why, yo? Why, man? Like, literally, why, bro? Like, it is in 5 degrees Libra, homicide. He was killing it. So people would say, oh, he killed his career. Some people might think he killed his career, or I don't know if that's true. What's funny is that Zanaya would be conjunct at 5 degrees too, for that cusp of that particular lunar chart, man. Right? Congeniality, refinement, order, and lovable nature. So, I mean, only thing it could kill is a lie. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I'm like, man, just to kind of see these things, right? Just for his lunar return, right? With the moon in the night.
Uranus is conjunct that ascendant.
Yeah, man. Yeah, career. You know what I mean? This is his whole sign career. You know, Uranus deals with broadcasting, deals with the internet, deals with sudden changes, deals with shock. Like I said, man, this here just shows like the astrology is. This is when I be like, this is when astrology gives me goosebumps. I'm like, this is eerily spot on. However, I think everyone's astrology is like that for real, for real. And if that is Cat Williams' actual solar return and actual solar time and all that, this is spooky. But the character that is Cat Williams, as we see it, according to this particular natal chart or whatever that we have here, then yeah, then I guess we're looking at. I guess we're this is what we saw. We saw this solar return, secondary progress, solar arc, Fadaria perfections, diagonal releasing, and lunar returns. Man, it's just spot on. And I didn't do any predictions. We didn't go back in the past or anything. I was just like, bro, let's just look at analyzing that or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is. So with that being said, we're going to do our invocation. Now, any questions, comments, and or suggestions going once? Questions, comments, and or suggestions going once. See, did I miss anything? Anybody in the chat?
Shout out to Mother Sahar. Is she in the chat?
Let's see. It's refreshing. The chat's refreshing now. So let's see what we got here. Yes, Mother Sahar came. She was the one right after Mother Janelle, right? She says, happy Holy Venus degree to all. Keila Jackson says, LOL agreed. Mother Sahar is laughing. No, Mother Sahar says he quote unquote paid for Melba Moor's Hollywood star. Wow. And Mother Sahar says Stanley Cup thermos. Yeah, people wasting my baby showed me. She was like, look, this little girl is crying because her dad got her this cup. And I said, a cup? Like that's I promise you. Y'all, I be so into I gotta admit, because I don't work for anybody else. What I've done with Seven Hill Star, I made it so that I and my brothers can empower ourselves to, if we run into people and we have a conversation, we go on the internet. Y'all, this is how we eat. We eat through donations and you booking sessions with us. I don't care if somebody talk about that as if it's a negative. I don't care if someone in the Moorish community, because they didn't have success when they was trying to do something as far as being industrious, and they work out for them. So all they can do is be negative and try to hate on any one of us that do it, try to call us sellouts or whatever the case. Fuck them people, flat out. You see what I'm saying? This is what we do. All right. We are internationally certified astrologers. All righty. I completed a full scholarship program. All righty. So me being an internationally certified professional astrologer comes with immediate receipts. So not only do we have a certification from Seven Hill Star, I am also certified when it comes to OPA. So let's not play. All right. So I have, a world, one of the largest world astrology organizations that I did a free ride with. Got a free ride scholarship. And I'm thankful and grateful that I got that scholarship and was able to be, in attendance, at least by internet, with a lot of astrologers that I actually respect, astro enthusiasts that I respect. Right. Honestly, you know what I mean? Even was able to assist with technical difficulties for one of the astrologers from what they call Turkey, right? That I was like, this is pretty dope, right? Especially since we're analyzing Vedic Valens now. I need to mention Turkey, and we're analyzing Vedic Valens in our astrology concept correction discussion, on Saturdays. So yeah, man, I appreciate you all joining us. Any questions, comments, and suggestions going Twiz Ice, Brother Sean?
Nope, I'm good. I'm good. Yeah, guys, schedule your sessions. We're running specials. For all the haters out there for 7 Hill Star, my Reiki sessions are at 60 an hour. Maybe I can help you get some of that hate out your heart and some of that inferiority. So that you can really see what needs to be done. Instead of hating, you could be helping.
Mirror AstroLiteracy sessions are 39% off. They are normally $4.59 for a 3-hour session. That is the $4.59 by itself for 3 hours is a super steal. You know what I mean? Shout out to Mother Rashida Bay. Mother Rashida Bay think I should go over 2 hours with you. Honestly. You know what I mean? Shout out to that mother. Because I get why. You know what I mean? If I get to a point where it's like, okay, all right, guess what? I'll just give you guys a 2-hour session. I was just working on that number 3. You know what I'm saying? Because I know what I can get done, because remember, we're about astro literacy. We want you to be astro literate. That's what it is. All righty. And so I think in 3 hours, you can get all the basics that you need. You know what I mean? We're having some positive results. Shout out to the TUPAC members. Right. So proud of you guys and how hard you go for your own astrology and comprehending yourselves and looking at your transits every day and keeping your journals and then sharing what you. I am thoroughly appreciative and honored to be a part of your experience as you're analyzing some things, as it goes beyond like, oh, this brother is really good at astrology. Now, you guys are excellent and very good at astrology also, because you're taking it seriously and seeing how it applies to your everyday life. All right.
Guys, don't forget, we're running a special on TUPAC as well. 25 and bring a friend, really take part in being a part of a community that's, serious about teaching you to be yourselves and uplifting everyone. Like, this is just not some BS that we're doing here with TPAC. It's really ahead of its time. And y'all gonna see how ahead of its time it is. It's like, do you want to be a part of it? Would you rather be in the game with us, or would you rather be on the sideline? And then it's gonna be like, oh, now I want to be yeah, that special's done for. Like, there are communities out there that charge $5,000 to $10,000 for lifetime membership, and we are giving you a special for $125. It was $250, and not only with that membership can you join us, but you're getting a free workshop with it. Like,
word.
Like,
yeah, yeah. I would say, guys. Yep. So it's a different kind of BOGO. Instead of buy one get one free, it's bring one get one. So bring one friend and get one lifetime membership. So instead of it being $250 for a lifetime, up until about, I think, the 20th January 2024, you bring yourself and bring a friend. You guys do $125 each for the lifetime. And hey, you'll be a part of TDPAC. You come in every Saturday. You get access to all that was before that TDPAC's got. I'm trying to tell you, it's a pretty cool thing what we're doing here. Right, you get to go and look at some astrology, look at how the discussions went, see how we're thinking about astrology, right? So that we can better ourselves and our communities. And again, the Mirror Astro Literacy session, 39% off, right? So 39% off of $4.59 for 3 hours is $279.99 for 3 hours, and that is till the 20th. Also, that's till the 20th January 2024. All right, so you guys have heard the specials that we're running for Brother Sean's Reiki. Not sure, Brother Sean, you doing something for the Mental Magician report?
It's actually half off right now.
All righty. So that means Brother Sean is, I think it was $4.59 the last time I checked too, if I'm not mistaken.
It was $4.50.
$4.50. Okay. So that is $225 right now. You running that until the 20th or what?
I actually haven't even set a date on it. So whenever Spirit's like, hey, yo, cut it. So it's just running now. So yeah.
All right, cool. Mirror sessions, 39% off until the 20th, right? And remember TUPAC membership, right? is it'll be 125, which is 50% off or whatever. The caveat is you got to bring someone else with you that will do that. So you got to come in twos, right? Got to come in twos like Noah's Ark. All right. So with that being said, guys, we're going to do our invocation out. All right, we're going to do our invocation now. We're going to extend all 5 appendages on the left hand, just the index and middle on the right. We're going to put our feet on a 45-degree angle, and you can repeat after me either aloud or in the heart. Islam.
Islam.
Islam, Allah the Father of the universe.
Allah the Father of the universe.
Father of love.
Father of love.
Truth.
Truth.
Peace.
Peace.
Freedom.
Freedom.
And justice.
And justice.
Allah is my protector.
Allah is my protector.
My guide.
My God.
And my salvation.
And my salvation.
By night.
By night.
And by day.
And by day.
Holy Prophet.
He was Holy Prophet.
Noble Drew Ali.
Noble Drew Ali.
Guys, don't forget, remember to be yourselves
And donate.
Donate. All righty, guys. Thank you all so much for joining us here on YouTube and TikTok. Appreciate you all. And you are the champion, provided you come and support Seven Hill Star every time we're live. You're sending your donations, you're scheduling your sessions, and you're not getting offended by the things we say because truth does not offend you. You're the real MVP. All righty. So with that being said, guys, we love y'all. When you go to get your victuals and get your rub on, go and eat. Make sure you're enjoying yourself, right? You eat healthily, but make sure you're enjoying what you're eating while you're eating healthily. And with that, guys, also when you go to rest and recharge, make sure you rest and recharge well. And with that, guys, we love you. This is where we say to you all, namaste, namaste, namaste. Islam, 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 y'all.